This second video covers how to safely attach and detach a regulator. Be sure you have watched our first video to fully understand how a regulator works before watching this one. If you're working with a new setup, then you should ensure the regulator is compatible with the hazards of the gas, the cylinder CGA fitting, and the cylinder pressure, and that it provides an appropriate outlet pressure range. If needed, talk to an expert, consult manufacturer's literature, or call the vendor. Be sure to double check the label on the gas cylinder. If the cylinder is designed to be capped, the caps should be in place during storage. Remove the cylinder cap and place it somewhere it will not get lost. If there are multiple gas lines and regulators, the pipes and regulators need to be labeled so they don't get mixed up. Make sure the regulator and cylinder have the same CGA fitting and that the inlet and outlet pressure ranges are suitable. Check to ensure sealing surfaces are free of damage and that gaskets, if used by the specific CGA fitting, are present and in good condition. This fitting uses a direct metal-to-metal seal between here and here. Clear out any dirt, dust, oil, or grease on the regular connection and cylinder valve. Do not use any cleaning agents aside from a cloth, damp if needed. Be sure not to introduce fibers or bits of paper. Never use PTFE or Teflon tape on cylinder connections. If there are any tape residues on the threads from a previous user, clean them off. These threads are not a sealing surface, and PTFE tape breaks down into pieces every time the regulator is attached or detached, which can get inside the regulator and damage it. Avoid using grease or any kind of sealing compound on CGA fittings. Make sure the pressure setting is 0, and if there's an outlet valve, it should preferably be closed. You'll want to hand tighten the regulator to the valve outlet by turning the nut. Note that some fittings use a left-handed thread. These are denoted by grooves cut into the outside of the nut.
Left-handed threads are loosened by turning the nut clockwise. If you're trying to open it and you feel it is jammed, it is likely you are turning it in the wrong direction. This is a common error.
Do not force the connection. If it doesn't fit easily, it's not the appropriate regulator. Next, with a proper size of fixed wrench, tighten the regulator connection to the valve. Make sure not to use excessive torque, especially if the wrench has a long handle, as this may damage mating surfaces or gaskets. It should be tight, but not super tight. Double check the pressure control. Now it is set to 0 pressure and the outlet valve is closed. Never pressurize an open regulator. Now open the cylinder valve slowly until the inlet gauge shows a gradually rising pressure. Once the high pressure gauge reaches its maximum pressure, further open the cylinder valve. For most applications, opening a couple of turns is more than sufficient to give an unimpeded flow of gas. Don't open the valve all the way, as this may cause the valve to jam, as well as making the valve much slower to close in an emergency. While keeping the outlet valve closed, we can now adjust the delivery pressure by turning the pressure knob clockwise until the required delivery pressure shows on the low pressure gauge. Since there is no flow, if you turn the pressure up too high, then turn the control knob back, the pressure on the gauge won't go down. If you let some gas flow, then the pressure will drop to the new lower set point. Once you're ready to provide a gas delivery to your system, you can do so by slowly opening the outlet valve if there is one. When you want to remove a regulator, the first thing to do is securely close the cylinder valve. Don't over-tighten. Depressurize the system until both pressure gauges read 0. If the gas is flammable, corrosive, toxic, or oxidizing, make sure you are venting safely, for example into a fume hood. If you're using a cross-purge system or gas cabinet with hazardous gases, be sure to follow the SOP for your specific setup. Disconnect the regulator with a wrench, followed by hand unscrewing. Protect the regulator by providing a cap or seal to the inlet, or improvise with foil. Always recap the cylinder.
In our next video, learn how to leak test a gas regulator.